Two things. Number one, I will be in the gym for 6 to 8 hours when the show is over. And number two, our football players significantly smaller now than they were when I was in school, or because for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, go to the stream at facebook.com/ESPN Upstate, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Hanging on the wall in the ESPN Upstate Palatial Studios is a jersey from Wofford, football jersey. That Diesel claims he won by push-upping a D1 athlete a few years back. And I guess they had a bet and he got to keep the jersey if he won. Well, that's the claim.
I'm struggling with words here.
Yeah,
it's so much fun, but consider the question that you're asking was did Diesel actually beat this guy? Maybe he beat the guy who fits in that jersey.
I mean, if he did, it's like apparently like competing with a child.
Possibly. It just also goes to show you, I don't ever believe when they say game-worn jersey that it's actually a game-worn jersey.
Can I just point out that today is the day, Lonzo, that we start the stream, and today is the day that we have like double-digit listeners within the first 30 seconds of the stream going live?
Should be. Yeah, I don't blame them. The thing is, you're the right hat, though. The hat kind of matches. It does.
I knew what I was going for. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it,
I got to admit, I got in here and I got so busy with all the stuff that I'm doing that I completely forgot till you and nearly collided in the hallway.
The texts are coming. Lonzo turned the corner. And he's got Lonzo, ladies and gentlemen, it runs another show until daggum near the minute we go on the air. And so ordinarily Lonzo's on the hustle bus to get from the other studio to our. He turns the corner. He's all business. I mean, he's got the Lonzo studio to this all business face. He turns the corner to walk into the studio. I've child size Wofford football jersey on. He walks past me, gets to the door of this studio, and I just hear, I pay off the bill. So.
You do. You know what? That jersey looks like you got a pack of smokes up there.
that's I'm assuming that's how they fit the shoulder pads. I don't know how the hell they put anything under this. They rock shoulder pads and gear under this, and I don't get it.
There's some wear and tear on the shoulders up there, so it almost makes it look like, unless that's just fuzz. I mean, I think there's some wear and tear up in there. If you play football, your jersey by the end of the year, it's got some snags and stuff. It looks like it does. It could have just like threw it on the concrete and stepped on it a couple times. I don't know.
On the text line, Adam, fat guy in a little jersey. Correct. That is exactly what you're looking at. You'll also notice the camera is a few inches higher on angle than it traditionally is.
See, I was of the understanding that you were going to wear a shirt under. So
no, I called no shirt.
Yeah, well, okay, because I've been pit flashed like 3 times so far.
Oh, I got news, pal. I got news for the next 2 hours and 53 minutes. Steven says, "Wow, Rob, no, just no." Yeah, no, I agree. This was awful. I'd like to go ahead and thank the Vanderbilt Commodores. Had a freaking cakewalk ahead of them, playing 9 NC State baseball players and score more than 3 runs on them. Thanks, Vandy. Best team in the country, my era. That's who I'm pulling for today, Zoe.
I am curious, how often do those spur-of-the-minute bets that you've made over the air, how often do they work for you?
Never.
Or were you counting on me going, no, I'm not doing that?
No, I kind of was. But I also legit thought I was going to win. It came as Lonzo. What did we say in the Hawks game? Hawks +8. I'm like, hey, lock of the week of the century. Take Hawks. They lost by 34. 34 in an NBA playoff game.
That was pretty embarrassing, yeah.
You got to be bleeping me, man. Not a great week for Rob Brown on the picks. And the here's the good news. The good news is, yes, I have to suffer by looking like a can of biscuits that your grandma banged on the counter and busted the tin open. But you have to suffer on the stream by looking. Oh, no, sorry, that's Bo. Bo says, I checked in on my wife's Facebook just to see this action. Josh says, looking good, childlike, Rob. And Keegan says, that's worse than a Schmedium. I don't get to make fun of Diesel Schmedium shirts anymore because I'm wearing a Baby Gap football jersey.
All right, so if there was no history behind it with Diesel, because I've forgotten all about that, which I often do when it comes to him, would you have went straight up Hulk and flexed out at the end of the show and just busted out of that thing?
No, I mean, I got to tell you, it's relatively flexible. Like it's definitely a game jersey. It's got the flex and the movement to it.
It's got a cardigan kind of to it. I don't know.
Texture. That's where you have the fabric bend so it goes over. Listen, the point of this is, so I own up, I say I'm going to do. Even if it makes me make the listeners and viewers suffer. All right. So I apologize to everyone on the stream.
I think the real question is, did I really win? Because I'm not so sure I did. I'm not so sure I did.
All right. We got a ton of sports we got to get into today. Oh, man. I got to tell you, Zoe, I mean, I'm going to make it 3 hours in this thing, but by the end of the show, it's just going to be going, Hawks by 7. Let's start the show when we start the show. What do you say?
Let's do lunch.
This is a very nutritious lunch. All the food groups are represented.
You guys are here.
What in the wide world of sports is going on?
12 viewers on the stream, 13 on the stream, just staring at me. Most we've ever had in an opening segment. We have more viewers on the stream right now than we have had since we started doing the stream on the day that I have to dress like a freshman in high school.
Should I apologize for my grin? Because I just can't get rid of it.
Keegan says, I'm glad it's not cold. If it was, you might kill Lonzo. Oh, God. The lunch breakdown, the 3 things you have your friends, family, work, or dog, whoever you spend your lunch break with. This is regrettable. These are the things, this is the scuttlebutt around the lunch table that you will need to know today. Does it sound like I'm taping deeper breaths than usual? I feel it does. I really do. Now the camera's going to fall just on the struggle bus today.
You've always been there from what I can tell. All right.
All right. Item number 1 on the lunch breakdown today. Oh, I regret everything. Mark Emmert has released a memo. ESPN. Moral of the story: kids don't grow up betting like Rob, host of the show for boys. ... And actually typed out ... I was hot garbage on the picks this weekend. And so that you know, those of you who took my advice and bet on me, A, entertainment purpose only, and B, this is my punishment, all right? I am accepting the punishment by rocking this today. Oh, and I'm going to have to go to the bathroom and walk down the hallway in front of a bunch who have no idea what's going on at some point in the next 3 hours, Lonzo.
You know what you got to do, though?
Flex.
Full on, man. You got to go full on Vince McMahon walking down the hallway. Yes, without a doubt.
I own this. Garrett has told school in the NCAA to begin building interim, name, image, and likeness laws that the NCAA will operate under and schools operate under until their official law on the books. Now, keep in mind that this memo is not going to have an impact on the states that already have laws going into effect this year. Florida, Georgia, Mississippi, etc. Those states already have those laws on the books, will already have come out. But Mark Emmert has told the rest of the NCAA that it is time for them to go ahead and start preparing for this. Now, we talked a little bit about this last week when Mark Emmert came out early in the week and said, hey, look, you guys take action or the NCAA will take action for you. That was what he put on the table, but it looks like he has gone in the direction of, well, taking that action by mandating that schools begin putting these NIL laws, at least the guidelines for them, onto the table. That's the step that the NCAA has taken over the weekend. I don't really have a ton more information on this. That's really all we know now, is that Emmert set a July target interim rules date. He wants the schools to have something on the time July runs around. In a memo sent to member schools obtained by the AP, Emmert acknowledged the current uncertainty across college sports as it moved towards allowing these laws. He said in the memo, quote, "We are focused on providing you additional guidance to make the introduction of the NIL era as smooth as possible," end quote. Texas, Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Mississippi, and New Mexico all set to go July 1st. That would under existing NCAA rules and give athletes the opportunity to be paid by third parties for things like sponsorship deals, online endorsements, personal appearances, etc. Several other states, have laws that can go in the memo, according to the AP, says, quote, "Although permanent NIL rule changes by July 1st are unlikely due to the legal environment, we are working with divisional governance bodies to develop interim solutions that will fairly allow student athletes to take advantage of NIL opportunities, regardless of the state in which they are enrolled." NCAA has now officially told schools within the NCAA governance to start putting some guidelines down into play. Item number 2 on the lunch breakdown, we have Stanley Cup Finals set to go today. Tampa Bay makes their way back to defend the crown. The Montreal Canadiens find themselves in the Stanley Cup playoffs for the first time since 1993, the last time Montreal made their way in. We're going to give you a full preview of this series later on, but wardrobe, but hey, it is what it is. That's what we do. We bloviate. I feel bloviated in this jersey. Is that how that word works?
Even if it doesn't, we'll with it.
For this. Lightning, that's the prediction. The boys from the FLA will defend. Montreal's got a good front line with Denal Gallagher and Lekanen, but I think that Tampa Bay, Braden Point trophy winner this year. Palat, Kucherov. Now, again, we are going to kind of have to wait to see what Kucherov's injury does. Does it hamper him, slow him down? We don't know. But one of the most potent opening lines in the leagues, 9 goals together at 5-on-5 on the playoffs. They did surrender 7. They'll give up goals, but they do outpace as well. Kucherov leads the playoffs, 27 points through just 18 games. Point had a 9-game goal streak snapped in Game 7 against the Islanders, but he leads the playoffs with 14 goals altogether. Now, the Canadians are probably a little bit deeper. They roll out 4 lines, all of them respectable to Foley, Suzuki, Caulfield. In the second line, have a lot of pop. It's going to come down to whether the Lightning's second line with Stamkos, Cirelli, and Killorn are able to compete with the Islanders second round, and I think they can. Steven Stamkos has been good, 17 points in 18 games. Cirelli was strong against the Islanders, and Killorn, 17 points in 18 games. If they are healthy, they are just fine. We'll break that series down more in depth on, but I will take the Lightning in 6 in that one. And finally, item number 3 on the lunch breakdown, and we are no doubt going to go into this hot and heavy over the course of the show today. On Friday afternoon, Penn State, the WAC of the College World Series, announced that they had multiple positive COVID-19 tests pop. They ended up having to play Friday's game against one of the best teams in the country in Vanderbilt, with just 13 players available to the roster. They had 9 position players They had 4 pitchers, one of whom had to play first base because they did not have an available first baseman on the roster, so they connected to a baseman. I thought Vanderbilt was going to smoke the Wolfpack. They did not. NC State, I'll tell you, Alonzo, I don't mind wearing this jersey out of props to the Wolfpack because I thought they were going to get decimated. And instead, they came out against one of the best 2 pitchers in college baseball this year, and Kumar Rocker, and lost 3-1 in a phenomenally play. I mean, talk about a team that gutted it out in that one. Zoe was right. They had every ounce of fight they could possibly need to make it a very close game against Vanderbilt.
Which makes you wonder, what would have been the end result if North Carolina State were at full capacity. Would they have? I just, when I think of this game, I think of you getting up and leaving the office, be confident.
Oh yeah.
And then you came back into the office,
yeah.
and there was already the one run scored by North Carolina State. It's like, uh-oh.
Yeah. I mean, they were up 3, or they were up 1. I'm like, yeah, it's my NC State's running out of arms. Gutted that thing out, man. They gutted that thing out. I was very proud of NC State's players.
Yeah, if you're a fan of that baseball team, man, you've got to be so elated at how well they play. Not what happened after, but still, the fact that they played so well with hardly anybody out on the diamond.
Correct. And the heartbreak comes in, and we're going to talk about this later on in the show. Actually, the next segment, we've been to it because the college series final.
Very fresh in my mind for some reason. I can't say
no idea why.
I can't say
no
why.
idea why. It is for me too, because this jersey is squeezing the memories and every ounce of fat on me towards my head right now. So, the good news is, though, circulation is great from the neck up right now. The brain's working just fine. All the blood I need is in it because it can't go anywhere else rocking this jersey.
So you didn't go look in the mirror and go, man, I look swole.
No. Lonzo left the studio after I put on. And I don't play. Croatia up 1. Oh, no. That's how the first goal gets scored, Lonzo.
Oops.
Yep. Spain's goalkeeper.
Yeah, put your head down, dude. You should.
Spain's goalkeeper had a ball played back to him. He did not watch the ball. He went eyes up to the rest of the field, missed the ball off his foot, and it rolls in. Croatia up 1-0. Spain's still
a celebrity in the crowd or a thing. Yeah.
Yes. Spain's still going to win this game, but Luka Modric, 35 years old, out there for Croatia. Trying to get a dub today in the round of 16 of Euro 2020. We'll keep that game up for you. All right, when we come back here in just a minute, we are going to take a look inside what happened at the College World Series to get NC State no contested and eliminated, sending Vanderbilt on to the national championship finals. We're going to break that for Friday on a timeline and see how we feel about it next. I'm Rob. He's Lonzo. This is ESPN Upstate. I'm going to fix this computer today.
All right, we're back in utility and everything, so everyone
Well,
can
they can't
hear
because
us.
I got the break video up because the computer won't shift to turn it off.
Uh-oh. Are we stuck in standby mode?
I'll turn it off. I thought I hate this computer. I despise it.
There we go.
All right.
There we are.
Josh says marshmallow puffed Rob. Keegan said, at least the bandwidth isn't the only thing that's going to be stretched thin today. Thank you, Keegan. Skrilla says it's swole. It's not swole. It's swollen. Keegan, I did not see it. I read about it this morning. I heard it's pretty gruesome. So I'm probably not going to go find it, to tell you the truth. I don't do well with like gruesome sports injuries. I just don't watch them.
As someone who had a couple themselves, yeah, I don't like watching them
No.
either.
Texter says Rob looks like a sock filled with mashed potatoes.
That's mean.
That's me.
That is really mean. I've never heard that before,
Oh, I know what
and I probably will use that eventually. But
Oh, yeah. I'm reading
yeah, that's mean. It's great, by the way. Don't get me wrong. It's great, but it's mean. And you know what? I shouldn't feel too bad because that could have been me in that. And the jokes would be coming at me. But you know what? Here's the thing. It wasn't. And it's not. It's him. It's not me.
So far, I've yet to be seen by a non-ESPN Upstate employee, so
It's not hard to do.
best koozie I've ever had. It says to be the best, you've got to beer the best.
Okay. Some may say vain, but I say that's really cool.
Oh, yeah, I don't care if anybody says vain. That's a
As
fantastic.
someone who has a poster of themselves next to themselves in the office,
I'm
I'm,
pulling
ta-
this up.
I'm talking about me. You
No,
know,
I
I got
know
the
I
poster
know.
of me next
know.
to me. So Is that a soccer game on TV?
It is. It's
Like
on
me?
ESPN. Regular
Okay,
ESPN.
I will find it in a moment.
I don't want to ask you to turn it on. A texter says at ESPN, Rob looks like a sock filled with mashed potatoes.
I'm still, I mean, you know, I want to believe that texter made that up. It may be an old thing, but I've never seen it before.
I've
or
never
heard
heard
it
that
before.
insult before.
Yeah, it's great.
It's true. It's not true.
Well, as I was saying during the break when you were out of the room, you know, I could feel bad about all the jokes, but I shouldn't, because that very well could be me wearing that jersey and all that stuff would be coming at me. So I shouldn't feel bad about it at all. All I
gotta
did
tell
was
you.
accept the bet.
I got to tell you, I don't know how I'm getting this off after the show, to be real.
I think engineering may have like a shoehorn
Yeah.
or something we can use.
Yeah. Problem is, then they'd have to see me, and like it's one thing to be on the stream. It's one thing to be on the stream where everybody can see me. It's something completely different to have to walk down the hall in the place that I work and am pretending to be a professional. See, initially when we made this bet on Friday, I had considered you have to wear it all day at work. That was where I was going to go. But then the back of my brain's like, Rob, there is a chance you are wrong here. There is a chance that you are wrong. It was going to be like, you have to wear it all day. If you got to go outside, you got to keep it on. If you go get lunch, you got to keep it on. But then I realized, nope, because then I'll be locked down in my office all day. Can't do it. Can't do it. Rob looks like a sock filled with mashed potatoes.
if you were to need help to get that thing off, which employee would you like to help you?
I'll
If you
go
had,
home in it.
if you had to pick one,
I'll put my Hawaiian shirt back on over this jersey, and I will go home and like figure it out.
I gotta say it's only fair since he procured the jersey that Diesel give you a hand to take that jersey off.
I wouldn't do that to him or me. You know what we're talking about? Go to the stream at facebook.com/ESPN Upstate. I don't know. Of all the days not to promote the stream, this is the one.
Oh, you need to go look at it.
This is the one.
What this is proof that Rob pays up on his best. These flat guns, man. I don't know what size the pythons are, but they're out.
Don't have a choice. There's nowhere else to go. All right. So Friday we got Friday was in fact we knew the game happened. 3 the doors NC State team. Saturday morning, and when I say I'm sitting on the couch because I am an insomniac, sitting on the couch at the Casa de Love, watching whatever I'm watching and playing video games. And I get the ESPN text alert. Ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum. Like, what is breaking? Because I have my app set to where I get breaking news. What is breaking at 2:15 in the morning? Breaking from ESPN. NCAA declares Saturday's College World Series semifinal elimination game a no contest. Vanderbilt moves on. NC State is eliminated, no contest. And it is the most active. I'm on Twitter when I go to bed, much to the chagrin of the lady friend. I'm on Twitter when I go to bed, and I doom scroll until y'all stop tweeting, which is usually around 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. Twitter kind of died off, and it's go night-night. So I get the I get the alert. I go on Twitter, and Twitter's like, yeah, we're not super thrilled about this. Twitter was not happy. And I get it, man. I get it. Text went out to Tim Corbin, head coach of Vanderbilt. He said he got the text at 1:30 Saturday morning. Said that he was moving on to the finals, that the NCAA had declared the game against NC State that was supposed to be played 12 hours later a no contest due to COVID-19 protocols. Vandy was on, NC State was out. He said, quote, I felt like when the boys up, I wanted to give them some type of information. That's really all I cared about was that. As far as getting up and seeing that text message, I just wanted to get to them as quickly as possible. So we did. He went to talk to the boys, told them they were moving. Mississippi was at the time still celebrating over Texas Saturday that ended at like 1:30 in the morning Eastern time. The only thing I don't like about living here. All right. It's just true. NC State joined a short list of teams that had been sent home from a championship event due to COVID-19 protocols. It has happened 7 times so far, now 8. None of the others as dramatic. None of the others as hotly contested. Less than 24, actually, well, hell, man. Less than 12 hours after that same team had competed. The NCAA says they have held 284 postseason events, 65 championships, involving more than 2,700 teams since February, more than 130,000 tests administered. 0.04% of those tests have come back positive. NC State coach Elliot Avant said his team welcomed the rest that came with advancing in the winner's bracket, but that, quote, a few players and assistant coach had battling what he bug, end quote. The next day, a player tested positive. Now, here's where the conversation gets dicey. A lot of people say, wait a minute. If some guys on the team were vaccinated and some were not, why did they test the ones that were vaccinated when they said they would not? Barstool Sports, their NC State branch, I guess, sent out a screenshot of a Snapchat DM that they claimed was from an player that said, we don't know why they tested the vaccinated players. Nowhere in their protocols did it say that they would. And that was incorrect. The NCAA protocols that were sent out before the teams went to Omaha said that there was a line that once enough unvaccinated players tested positive, they would begin to test the vaccinated players as well. And NC State had crossed that line. So the vaccinated players had to be tested too. Then that a couple of positive tests came out of players that played in that game on Friday, which meant that the 13 vaccinated players, they lost, it looks like, around 4 of them, which means they would not have had enough people to play the game on Saturday. Vanderbilt had the majority of their roster vaccinated. NC State, according to reports, did not. And that's where this came from. They hit the trigger. That got the whole team tested. There were enough players testing positive out of the ones that were available to not be able to field a full team for a game on Saturday that would have determined who moved on from NC State or Vanderbilt into the College World Series National Championship Finals. Look, it sucks. College baseball's postseason is my favorite postseason in sports. I have watched every game of the College World Series. I watch every game of the College World Series every year. It is one of my favorite events. It sucks. Here's the part where a lot of people get mad at me, but it is what it is. I agree that it is up to you whether you want to get vaccinated or not. I think it's a good idea personally. I did it. I did it the day I became eligible. I absolutely think it's a good decision. But it is your decision at the end of the day whether you do it or not. But as we've said multiple times from the beginning, there are consequences to your decisions as well. There are consequences that you have to own up to that are your decision. And this is a consequence. It's a terrible one, man. It's a terrible one. I hate it for you. I really do. I hate it for the guys on NC State's team that are good, that are healthy, that could have played today. I hate it for them. I hate it for their fans. I hate it for the people like me who are just fans of the College World Series and had bought in to the NC State story. What a great postseason story the Wolfpack were. Coming out as an underdog in the regional, going to Arkansas in the super regional, the world against them as they took the number 1 team in the country, beat them in their own house, got to Omaha, was a win away from the finals after running undefeated until the very last series, and on Friday, having 13 guys dressed and taking one of the best teams in Omaha, one of the best teams in the country, down to the wire. It sucks. I hate it. But that is what it is. That is what it is. I don't know, man. Zoe, where do you fall in this? After you heard the story, I got all the details. After we have some glimpse, because I look, there were conversations behind the scenes at the NCAA that we'll never know about. But now that we have the details that we have, where have you come down on this, Lonzo?
I think in the end, it comes down to individual freedom. And if it's not, I don't want to say demanded, but if it's not suggested or if you have to do this or you can't be, then that's your choice. That's also your choice. And are there consequences? Yeah, there are consequences, but there are consequences to everything in life.
Yeah, I agree.
You make a decision and to turn right instead of left and you accidentally turn in front of someone that you wouldn't have if you turned left. I mean, it's just, you don't know what's going to happen for sure. And each of these kids made their own decision and the team paid for it. But they just as easily not.
Yeah. It's 1:10 a.m., 2:10 our time. The NCAA issued a statement. 30 minutes later, a group of NC State players went back to Ameritrade Field to take a picture in their home plate. Now, I will say the NCAA is going to try my best to explain it away, and you can tell them wrong. A lot of the heat at the point of, hey, you're letting 20,000 fans come into the stadium without tracking who's vaccinated or not mandating masking or social distancing. You're filling up Ameritrade, but you're not going to let a team go out and play. Well, correct. And here's why. If you buy a ticket to go to the game, you assume the liabilities and the danger that come along with it. It's literally printed on every ticket you've bought to every sporting event. Go downtown and buy a baseball ticket for the next round of games and look at the back of your ticket if you get a physical copy, or look at the terms that you get digitally. There is a whole legal section that says you are liable for inherent dangers at the ballpark. If a foul ball blasts you in the dome and you are hurt, it's your liability, not ours. But they are directly liable for the health and safety of the guys on the field. There is a difference. I think Clay Travis said, well, why don't the NC State guys, to prove a point, ought to go buy tickets and go sit in the stands for that game. Right. I get that. They can't. They're working under the NCAA. We'll bring this back up. Want to hear what you have to say. 844-GSP-ESPN, 844-4776. Text us on the Ingles Market text line at 71307. Join us on the stream at facebook.com/ESPN Upstate or twitter.com/ESPN Upstate. 1-1 is Spanish level in the first half of the quarterfinals of 2020. Back after Brown PN Upstate. Wow, I can't breathe.
About the BetQL stuff.
You set up those interviews today. My mother just texted, "What are you wearing?" Perfect. For those of you on the stream who are wondering why I'm wearing a football jersey from the Baby Gap, I lost the bet to Low on Friday, and the bet was whoever lost had to wear this jersey on the stream today, and I lost. So, what are you going to do? That's how the game gets played. I own up. I almost made the bet that the loser had to wear this at work all day today. And I'm glad I tell you, ordinarily, I really don't look forward to the end of the show. I like being on the air. This is a great job. I enjoy doing it. I am very much looking forward to 3 p.m. right now.
Should be looking forward to about 3:06 p.m. because it'll take you probably
it may take 4 to 6 minutes to get off. You're not incorrect.
I look at that and all I can say is it's not a dress, and be glad it's not a dress because I lost once and had to wear a dress. And part about it is I took a bet and stipulations to it, and management decided that would be the stipulation. So our wonderful boss thought it would be hilarious.
Wonderful to come in a little while and tell me get off camera.
Except he's on vacation.
Oh, that's
so,
right.
Yeah, so hopefully
I have no saving grace.
hopefully he's not viewing it. The interim boss could come in here.
True story.
Saw enough of him Friday.
No, JD will come in here and laugh at it. Go Terriers. I've still got a year of eligibility.
Just that anyone who's wearing that number is not that size.
Here's the thing. This
Yeah.
is a defensive lineman
yeah.
number.
Yeah.
93 can only be worn by defensive
Well, you
tackles.
can be a rush end.
defensive end.
Yeah, you could be
Still, a defensive end in the college level's going what? 6'3".
about your eligibility. You could be a rush end.
I could be a defensive. I've still got some pass rush. 3 to 3.5 plays per game.
That's all you need. Be disruptive.
You need somebody to eat up Walker. I'm your guy. I don't know. I had a steep dip and rip back.
I was going to say, I was wondering, was it the dip or did you swim or what'd you do?
How's a dip and rip? It was easy for me. Straight off the line, straight.
I was
off
just
the inside shoulder pad, rip underneath.
I was just really fast. So it's hard to believe looking at me, but I was just really fast.
I ran this. It's true. I ran
All right.
for 4.78.
It's not 3.78
No,
because you wouldn't be here if you could run that fast.
They moved me from defensive because of a 4.78, and then I didn't play because our two tight ends went 6'7" and 6'9".
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah.
Well, you're faster than me. I only ran a 4.9. So
My mother has texted, "What are you wearing?" What I'm wearing, Lonzo, is my shame and my regret on my very tiny sleeve.
I think the biggest question is, when it's close to 3:00, will you rethink your betting strategy and will you ever do that again?
Lonzo, I rethought my betting strategy at like 6:02 p.m. on Friday. Some impending has been in my brain since I went to bed Friday. I'm this weekend to try to drop 2 to 4 LBs before I walked in here today. It did not go well.
Just be glad that we're not live on remote.
True.
So there's a very good shot that you probably have only been seen by like 3.
No, so far it's just you.
No, Chris saw you.
Oh, that's true. He popped it. Well, yeah, but I was covered up by the chair.
Chris doesn't notice. So
Also probably true.
Yeah, yeah.
But at some point the word gets out in the studio. You ever seen those videos, Lonzo? I used to say all the time, I understand why every time there's a picture of an NFL offensive lineman in a jersey, they all pull what's under the shoulder and their bellies hang. It's been like, why are you doing that? And now I know it's so that you can breathe. End of argument.
Hey, all I got to say is go ahead. Do it.
No. I'd rather not be.
Okay.
Listen, I'm not, as you can tell, like I am, and I look like what I look like. It is what it is. I'm not ashamed of it. This is not a bet that I take on Friday. I don't care. I've been hearing fat jokes for 17 years now. I'm used to them. I am less worried about the societal discomfort of people seeing me. Genuine, actual physical discomfort. That's the problem. That's the issue. All right. When I was at home at the Casa de Love, if the pants were a little tight, I could just unbutton the pants. None of you better.
Well, you could do that here too.
Theoretically. All right. 844-477. Text us at 71307. Texter says, ESPN, I heard that 4 vaccinated players tested positive. However, 14 players sat in hotel rooms that tested negative but did not take the jab. The NCAA is stupid. The NCAA, more than anything else, after what? The NCAA. That's their number one priority. That's been the argument for paying players. The NCAA is out for itself and nobody else. They understood where the liability fell. They canned it. You can be mad about it. A lot of people are. You can be upset about it. A lot of people are. And you're not wrong for feeling that way. There were decisions to be made. Those decisions were made. Those decisions come with a through the consequence. It's some, not arguing with that. It's what it is. It is what it is. All right, we'll put that one down for a few minutes. If you want to chime in on it, 844-GSP-ESPN. Text us, 71307 at ESPN. Please don't stand up on the stream because you know those jerseys are short as well. None of us need to see the crack. It's okay. All right. This jersey amazingly lengthy, Lonzo. That's the only thing I am comfortable about. All right, I know I'm fat, but jersey damn near covers up my shorts.
All right, I did that because now it looks like a mini.
It looks like a mini when I put it on. What kind of defensive tackle fits in this? Quick break. Wrap up hour number 1 after this and after I catch my breath on the Rob Brown in Upstate.
Golf cart. Golf cart.
The 2021 Upstate Golf Card is here, ladies and gentlemen. And for just $99, you can play 9 of the most beautiful and prestigious golf courses in the entire Upstate. But you got to get yours now. The Preserve It Verde, Pebble Creek, Legacy Pines, the Rock Golf Club and Resort, Carolina Springs, Willow Creek, Links of Tryon, Rolling Green Golf Club, and new on the card this year, the award-winning club at Brookstone. That is over $450 worth of greens fees, and you are getting all of them for $99. That's less than $15 a round. If you called any one of these courses and they said, hey, we got a special $15 this week, you'd play it twice. So get 2 cards. Go to upstategolfcard.com, upstategolfcard.com to get yours right now. Get one for you, one for the fam, one for the friends. Upstategolfcard.com. It's the 2021 Upstate Golf Card.
So according to TMZ, Vin Diesel wants to do a Fast and Furious musical.
I saw that.
Are you down for a Fast and Furious musical?
Why not? Like, whatever.
People will go see it. Probably.
Why not? Why wouldn't you? Who cares?
Just trying to wonder. I'm wondering what kind of songs would they be? All original songs, or are they going to bring back, just a bunch of different car songs to be singing?
One of these Groot singing Grease Lightning.
Or maybe they just do everything from the band Cars, which would, you got enough hits there to put throughout an entire movie and still be good.
Go Grease Lightning, you're burning up the quarter mile.
Now I've got a mix of Vin Diesel and John Travolta stuck in my head, and it's not good.
Grease Lightning, go Grease Lightning.
What the?
I didn't do it.
They are the titles are different, but the meat or the description are exactly the same. So if you were the person who puts the breaks together, I could see why they wouldn't notice. But I couldn't cancel it because it's paid for. So
Yeah.
So let me just put this out there. If you are someone who has smaller jerseys and you would like them to be modeled, I'm sure Rob will mind if I be his manager on this, and for a nominal fee. For me, he paid. It would be an NCAA violation.
I do still have eligibility.
But Rob will model your jersey for you. So the thing is, we can't really wash that when you're done, because if we wash it,
It is autographed.
all those signatures might, come off of there.
I think I took a shower this morning. And I promise you,
We can start a BO wall with, jerseys. Stay away from that corner. It smells. 30 seconds.
fat guy, a little jersey.
When Diesel comes in, you should say, "Here, you're back," and just start lifting and see if he stops you.
When Diesel comes in, I need you to just monitor the disappointment on his face when he sees it.
Yeah, it's going to be, he has that look on his face every day when he walks in the room. And I can relate.
All right, fat guy in a little jersey. I got it. All right, you can all stop texting me fat guy in a little jersey over and over again. Got that text 15 times so far.
Or you continue and we could set some sort of record. Up to you.
Fat guy in a little coat. It is what it is. I lost the bet. I owned up. A bet I created, by the way. I did this to myself in every capacity. Every capacity I did this to myself. All right. We have got an opportunity for you to potentially win $1,000. A chance for you to win $1,000 in the $1,000 cash dash on ESPN Upstate. The 1 o'clock keyword is baseball. 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 Text baseball to 72881. 72881. Baseball to 72881 for your chance to win $1,000. We've had 6 winners, 5, 6. We have had a number of winners, and you might be that number plus one winner of the $1,000 cash dash. On ESPN Upstate, text baseball to 72881. Coming up in the hour of the show, I'll tell you why it is not time to panic if you are a Greenville Triumph fan. And I have fallen for one of the classic blunders in sports. I'll tell you what it is when we come back on the Rob Brown Show and ESPN Upstate. Money, 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 money. Money. There's a video on it. So I'm going to have to stand up. Oh my God.
102 to go up 2-1 in the College World Series final tonight. It'll be Mississippi State battling Vanderbilt. First pitch 7 Eastern, 6 Central. Mississippi State to advance. They scored the winning run at the bottom. Vanderbilt vaulted into the finals via a no contest against NC State. Wolfpack ruled in LA. Semifinal game Saturday due to COVID-19 restrictions. Lightning fast update so you never miss a thing. It's why the Score app is one of North America's most popular sports apps. That's your Sports Flash. I'm Chuck Sanders on ESPN Upstate. Have you heard the Rob Brown Show? You want to say greatest of all time so far? That's fine. You can do that. Tom Brady is the greatest of all time. So far. That's fine. So far, people get offended and get angry because they want you to know. No. You don't understand. He is the greatest of all time. He may be the greatest of your lifetime. This doesn't make him the greatest of all time. Unless the Cole ends in the next year or so, and then you may be right.
Floating through space, the last jinx back down as the charred remains of what used to be Earth, as his life systems repeatedly alarm him that he's running out of oxygen. He's sticking with the giant ball of molten rock that used to be planet Earth, and he says to himself and no one else, he was the greatest of all time.
Sometimes reaching the radio is hard.
I'm real comfy under these covers and I can't reach the radio. Then throw on a well, never. Then maybe you should.
Alexa may be sassy, but she can help as well.
Just ask it, I will play the radio for you.
When you can't reach the radio, ask Alexa to play it for you. Alexa, play ESPN Upstate.
Okay.
And listen to the Upstate sports leader without moving a muscle. ESPN Upstate. And check this out. For an official Rob Brown lockdown. Represent for the Raiders. Yeah, deal. Unfiltered sports talk manufactured locally for the Carolinas. This is the Rob Brown Show. On ESPN.
Upstate.
Like an Eric Cartman thing going on. I'm not fat. I'm big boned and buff.
Yeah, don't do it unless you're going to do the voice.
I can't do the voice. I'm just buff. What can I say? It's Jersey proof.
But are you the stuff?
The Rob Brown Show's back on your radio. Hour number 2. This is ESPN Upstate. I am Rob Brown. You are you. Thanks for hanging out. Do me a favor, Lonzo. Grab clip 11 for me. Because last night, after the Atlanta Hawks opened the game with like a 25-3 lead, I did something dumb, ladies and gentlemen.
You guessed wrong.
You only think I guessed wrong. That's what's so funny. I switched glasses when your back was turned. Ha ha, you fool. You fell victim to one of the classic blunders. The most famous is never get involved in a land war in Asia, but only slightly less well known is this. Never go in against a Sicilian when death is on the line.
And that was the sound of my hopes and dreams falling when I felt a classic blunder number 3, Lonzo. Number 1, never get involved in a land war in Asia. Number 2, never go in with a Sicilian when death is on the line. And number 3, never bet on Atlanta sports in the postseason. Don't do it. I did it again. Every freaking season and every freaking sport, I do this with Atlanta teams and Georgia teams. I let them convince me that they have changed. You ever had a friend, Lonzo? You ever had a friend that's in a relationship that you can see from the outside? And homeboy keeps cheating on her, and she keeps going back because she's like, this time he's changed. He's changed. I can sense it. He's changed. That's what I did with Atlanta.
Our biggest enemy is ourselves.
Yes. Einstein's definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. Blunder number 1, never get involved in a land war in Asia. Blunder number 2, never go in with a Sicilian when death is on the line. And number 3, never bet on Atlanta sports in the postseason. It's not worth it. The Hawks. Here's the thing. I sat at game 4. Sixers up on the Hawks by whatever it was, 16 at the half. And I'm sitting there with my buddy Brandon, who's a big Atlanta sports guy, big ATL sports guy. And we're sitting up in the bleachers. We're knocking down a Budweiser. And he looks at me and he's like, hey, man, you know, I'm cool if we lose this game because we're like, what, a year or 2 away from being a real finals-ready team? And I said, yeah, dude, like you're close. Got to see what the Hawks do with John Collins. Is he a max contract player? Does Trey grow up a little bit? Guy's playing out of his mind, but there's some mental mistakes here and there. I do think, unfortunately, I said from the beginning, buy into the Ric Flair bad guy role. But I think he started leaning a little more towards the entertainment side than the entertained via being a great basketball player side. I got criticisms of this team. But then I bought in. When they knocked off the Sixers in Game 7 on the road at Philly, I was like, hey, man. And then they go on the road in Game 1 against Milwaukee as an 8.5-point dog and steal an outright win against Giannis and the Bucks. And I thought to myself, maybe I was wrong. Maybe this Hawks team is for real. Maybe this Atlanta team is here to break the stereotype. Maybe they're here to break the ATL sports curse. Maybe they're here to go to another level. Maybe. So I bought. And what did I do on Friday? On Friday, I said, free one, take them. It might close game. They'll be within 8. They lost by 34. 34. Then last night, they go in as plus 4.5. Back in the ATL, back in front of their home fans. A place they've been pretty good this postseason. Plus 4.5. And I think to myself, what a wonderful bet. This is money. It's free money. And then clip 2, Lonzo, if you don't mind. 4.5-point dogs at home. And I think, hey, man, look, it's been a back and forth for the Hawks in every series. It's back and forth against the Knicks, back and forth against the Sixers. They're back at home. ATL is going to rock. And then this happens.
And the Milwaukee Bucks have defeated Bucks 113-2. Still 12 seconds remaining, but this one is over. The Hawks looked so sharp in the first half. Bucks did come back and came back particularly strong fourth quarter. So the Bucks follow up their blowout win at home in Milwaukee over the Hawks with a win here in Atlanta to take a game-strong lead. Southern Eastern Conference final.
Now, in fairness, there was a big reason why. Clip 10, Trae Young, third quarter, unlucky. He just got unlucky. As he's coming down the court, this happens.
Trae Young is down here. You're wondering if he's tired or did something happen on that last play?
Apparently he slipped. Try to right here. Yeah.
Oh, it looked like he may have stepped on the official's foot. Yeah, right there. A little tweak right there. Little tweak of the ankle on the official Sean Wright's right foot. Something to watch going forward.
By the way, Marv, back off the headset a little, Marv.
Hey, give Marv a break. You're breathing like that today.
I was going to say this. This is why I'm off the mic today, because otherwise, you guys that hear me laboring to. So I've never been so out of shape that I'm laboring to breathe because of a shirt. You know,
I have. It's not. That's not a good place to be.
No.
You know, Marv is. He's retiring, man.
This is it for Marv.
Yeah, he's retiring. By the way, that game was a great game in the first half.
Oh, yeah.
They come out, they were on fire. They're hitting threes. Do you think maybe they had way too much energy? I know the injury does play into it, but it almost looked like that they fizzled out in the fourth.
Yeah, I don't think you're wrong. I think the injury to Trey, because Trey did sprain his ankle. Still waiting on an update to him. Trey did sprain his ankle.
I don't know. If you're going to sprain your ankle, look like you're in mind, and he's just kind of sitting there.
Yeah, I mean, like, you can gut it out.
No, man. Dude, just cry and writhe in pain on the it's the NBA. You're supposed to do that. You're not supposed to sit there and go, hey man, I think I'm hurt. You're supposed to lay there like you need to be amputated or something.
I didn't know you were a soccer fan, Lonzo.
Well, I've seen some injuries and some faux injuries in NBA games, and dude just ain't been in the league long enough to realize that he's supposed to overact.
I've ever shown you my thumb before? See that bump?
Yeah.
That's it. That is scar tissue, because 11th grade, I had a defensive line coach, Coach Arthur, who was just the worst. I fell at a practice, and I got what's called a gamekeeper's thumb, which is when your thumb bends all the way back to your wrist. Popped every ligament and every tendon in my thumb. All right, every one of them was popped. My thumb along was just dang hit it, and it would just swing back and forth. I couldn't, because every controlling tendon. Anyway, this happens. It's called a gamekeeper's thumb, because back in the day, that's how you kill a rabbit. You'd hold it by the ear, and you'd take that little crevice between your thumb and your pointer finger, and you would hit it behind the head of the rabbit, and that's what would disconnect the spine from the skull. That's how you used to kill a rabbit before you'd, butcher it to eat. And every now and then, if you hit the skull of the rabbit with your thumb, it would knock that thumb all the way back. It's called a gamekeeper's thumb. So I got that, and I'm standing on, I don't know where I remember this, like a vivid memory, but I'm standing, I'm waiting for the drill, and I'm holding the thumb because, it hurt a lot. And Coach Arthur walks over, and he grabs me by the jersey, which has to be a high school story, because if you try to grab me in this jersey, there's nothing for your hand to get a hold of.
Except for where your smokes.
Except for my shoulder pad poof here. Anyway, he walks over and he's like, look, I know it hurts, son, but out here we don't show pain. I'm like, yeah, we do, because it hurts. He's like, you'll be fine. You know what he did? He went and got a piece of like styrofoam packing, like inch thick styrofoam cut a hole for my thumb, wrapped it around my arm, and taped it together. And he goes, here, you'll feel better. Nope. Still hurts, coach. Now it just hurts and I can't move it, all right. Anyway, point is, no, you get an injury, you gut it out, you go to the sideline. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. Injury through the whole thing out of proportion. Clip one, Trae Young came out after it was over and said, hey, this wasn't because of the injury. We just have to play better down the stretch.
It sucks, but knock on wood, but all my injuries have been because I've stepped on somebody's foot, and it's been a tough thing that I've had to deal with. But I've just got to be more mindful of where people's feet are, and I guess I gotta have eyes behind my head now. Watch the out of bounds line for these refs, so it's got to be better. And it's just a crazy accident. It's sore right now. It's hurting. It's frustrating. Yeah, it's hurting a little bit, and it's sore. I got some treatment on it. I'm gonna go get some more in the morning. That's more. That's all I can do right now is get treatment, and then when I came back in, it was just kind of sore, and I made me mad. I couldn't really go as fast as I wanted to, and then when I did, it hurt. So just gotta get treatment, and hopefully it feels better for next game. Yeah, very determined, but it wasn't enough. So I'm not gonna sit here and talk about my game and how well I played or whatever early in the game, because it wasn't enough. So it was definitely a thought of mine to come out and play better for sure than game two. Definitely motivated. I feel like I let my teammates down. So that was the motivation for me as a guard, at least give our team a chance and be better than I was last game.
That's Trae Young. Stand up, dude. Here's the thing. Should not have come back in that game or should have been checked out about 3 minutes after he came in. He was not right. He could not drive. He could not penetrate. Once he couldn't drive or penetrate, it took away his ability to throw assist after assist, which is what he has done in their wins. Lemon Pepper Lou was playing better basketball than Trae Young, and the Hawks made a huge mistake by taking Lemon Pepper Lou out and putting Trae. And I know what you had to do. You had to try it. You had to try it because if Trae Young is okay, yeah, he gives you your best chance to win. But Trae was not okay. Trae was not ready. Lemon Pepper Lou was playing basketball, looked him out. It was worth a shot. But you had to know 3 or 4 minutes in, Lou Williams was the better guy to give you a shot last night. They still could have won that game. They still could have won that game. But it is what it is. It's Atlanta in the playoffs, man. It's Atlanta in the playoffs. The 3 classic blunders. Never get involved in a land war in Asia. Never go in with a Sicilian when death is on the line. And never bet on Atlanta sports in the postseason because they will find new and inventive ways to build you up, Buttercup, just to let you down. And that's exactly what happened. Bucks and 6.
Did you do that on purpose?
Oh, yeah.
Buttercup,
yeah.
Princess Bride.
No.
You did,
That's not what you meant. And no, but it's brilliant. So yes, I did. Yes, I absolutely did. Thank you for pointing out my brilliance.
I was impressed and disappointed all within, 20,
a matter of a second.
20 seconds. Something
That's how
like
I felt
that.
when I put on this jersey. I was like, hey, I got it on. And then I saw it on. And it was like, oh, I should not have it on. Clip number 9 is Shaquille O'Neal on the breakdown. Inside the NBA on TNT last night. And Shaq said what I just said, which is the Hawks failed to close.
You always hear people say we got to play 48 minutes of good basketball. Hawks played 42 minutes of good basketball. When Dre went out, they lost momentum a little bit. But Milwaukee needed a guy to catch fire for them to beat. And then again, the last 4 or 5 minutes, we couldn't hit shots. So I'm not giving up on my Hawks. Nate McMillan made a great point. We've been here before. Don't get that. And the whole thought that we can compete with these guys. I keep saying they can compete with these guys. They can play with these guys if things are going well. So if they're going to be at home again, you know what they got to do. But sometimes you just have to have a little more. Like to beat the Milwaukee Bucks, 42 minutes of good basketball ain't enough. You got to go 46, 47.
I was trying to hit the mouse to move it so the screen would come back
I
on.
knew what you were doing.
I missed.
Good thing the fan wasn't on.
I missed.
I got some ricochet going there.
Shaq says he's got hope. Says you got to play 48 minutes. Look, you're not going to play 48 minutes of great basketball. You got to play 46 minutes of great basketball. And then take when the guys are out. Shaq's got hope. My buddy Brandon, who I was telling you about a second ago, he showed up. He still got hope. I respect that he got hope. But that's what Atlanta sports do to you. They make you believe. They give you hope. They tell you, I'm pulling for Trae. I've told you, I'm pulling. I like Trae. Trae's a kid. Trae has been ravaged by injuries in the postseason. I don't care what he says or anybody else says. That injury to his shoulder completely deterred him from being the best player he could be in that Sixer series. No reason that series should have gone to Game 7. Trae's shoulder was bugging him worse than he said it was, and now I'm concerned that his ankle's going to do the same. He might say good. He might come back out there and strap up the brace, give himself some support, and give it a run, but Trae's injuries have held him back. Trae's 100% healthy, probably a different series right now, but it is what it is. All right, 844 GSP, ESPN, 844-477-3776. Brandon says Lou should have, and I believe could have finished. Brandon, I know you just checked in a second ago. That's exactly what I said about 3 minutes ago. Exactly what I said. The only mistake was made by McMillan last night was taking Lemon Pepper Lou out and putting Sweet Trae back on. Ice Trae should have been on the bench for that game, and Lemon Pepper should have been allowed to close it out. Let's take a break. When we come back, speaking of inside the NBA on TNT, they had a moment last night that I want to share with you to prove that it was so hilarious to me that I'm dedicating like 3 minutes on it because it was that funny. After this, Rob, Zoe, you, this is the Rob Brown Show on it. And what's the station we work on? ESPN Upstate. Yeah, there it is.
I have a life.
Checking corners. I'm like Splinter Cell. Checking corners. Rolling across.
Did you bring something with you to as a diversionary tactic that you could throw down the hallway so they would look that way?
Roll a rock.
Yeah.
Down the other
There
end.
you go.
Keegan said how savage was it? The Bucks tweeted out "Nuck if you buck" after the win. One, Nuck it going into the game and they lost.
So sore, but I think
Painting.
finished up the part that I didn't get done.
Always works out that I'm on that ladder at the hottest part of the day when the sun's directly overhead, though. I know I was up there for a while listening to an entire Jericho podcast. Then I realized I listened to
one go. God, I feel like an hour.
Yeah. It wasn't on the ladder the entire time because I'm down and move and then go back up. Which makes you appreciate scaffolding. It would be awesome to have scaffolding and just be able to, free flow and forth.
Painting and yard work are two of those things that I would much rather pay somebody to do it.
Oh, I love
it. Saves you a ton of money to do it, and you feel some pride when you're.
I love yard work. Painting, not so much.
Yeah.
I don't mind painting either. I just don't like being, up 15, 20 feet in the air, whatever it is.
It's 2-1 Anya.
But I'm on little pieces of trim. If it's just like full, I'm good with that. But it's trying not to get anything else, making sure the wind doesn't catch the paint.
We are gonna go to clip 7 and then 8.
20 seconds.
Was that you stretching your back or mocking me with the fat guy in a little coat dance? Or
I'm stretching actually. But.
The Rob Brown Show back on your radio. It's ESPN Upstate. Rob Alonso and you.
I'm being accused of mocking, and I just mentioned that I'm a little sore and I'm just trying to stretch.
Yeah, definitely.
Everything's not about you,
Definitely
Rob.
not doing the fat dance.
Which is why you should tune into the stream right now to see Rob paying up a man does. A man his debts.
I don't know about you guys. So I didn't know about Lonzo. Lonzo does not slack when it's work time. All right, ladies and gentlemen, he doesn't. But the rest of us slack in work time. Chuck Barkley, no exception. I don't know why this was such compelling television to me. Inside the NBA on TNT, if you're not watching it, is the best sports studio show. Phenomenal analysis, phenomenal game breakdowns, and also hilarious. Last night, end of Hawks Bucks, Chuck Barkley is sitting down in his little spot at the end. Ernie and the gang are trying to do some breakdown of Hawks Bucks, and then this happens.
And so now, and one game away. What's that?
That's Charles' phone.
Come on, man.
Like, what?
I don't know how to turn my phone off, man.
He's trying to. He's hitting the wrong buttons.
I am hitting the wrong button. I'm sorry, y'all.
What the heck is going on? Oh, you didn't take his phone, Ernie. Take his phone, Ernie.
But Kenny, then he tried to look down here like it was me and you.
Hey, taking your phone, man. Look
Then
at
he
you,
tried to look
man.
down here like it was me and you, Kenny.
I'm sorry, y'all.
All right, no problem. No problem. Your apology accepted.
Okay, I apologize.
Push the Suns over the cliffs, trying to close it out in the valley, like he was in middle school.
Hey! You know what? I was trying to see. I was trying to see what Barry Melrose was going to say about my Tampa Bay Lightning winning the Stanley Cup. Barry Melrose is, I think he's the best analyst on television. But I wanted to see what he was going to say about my Tampa Bay Lightning. Shout out Tampa Bay.
All right. Think you can do without your phone for another 25 minutes?
No.
Love the snark from Ernie at the end. You can go another 25 minutes without your phone, Chuck. Chuck Barkley watching NHL highlights and Barry Melrose breakdown of the Stanley Cup finals while getting paid $1 million to sit at the end of his desk and watch television. Lonzo, Chuck Barkley is me.
I was going to say he is now your hero. So for
Yep.
all the complaints about your text going off at home, you can say that you just
Letting the round mound to rebound.
there you go, following in footsteps.
Chuck is at the end of his desk watching Barry Melrose break down the Stanley Cup while he's TV. Incredible, Chuck. Incredible. Chuck Barkley is me. I am Chuck Barkley. I've never felt so connected to a player.
All right, I want to disagree a little bit because I have noticed and when you were at home, you're still working from home. When you got here to the studio, you're in work mode.
Yeah.
You know how I know?
Because you sit 8 feet.
No, because your phone hasn't went off any time in almost one day that you've been back in studio.
Yeah, I got the checklist when you walk in here, right? You got the checklist. You got a rundown. I mean, we're pilots.
Oh, it was going off in the office way, and that thing was louder than I thought it was.
Yeah.
But you've turned it off since you've come in here, so good on you.
Yeah, you're a pilot. You got a checklist. Yeah, like I come in, I got the checklist. A, make sure the headphones are there. B, make sure you got your adapter. There's the first check. That's done. Set up the stream. Make sure the title's there. Make sure everything's put together. That's done. Make sure the mic goes on and off. That's done. Make sure we got the TVs tuned where they need to be in case there's any breaking news. That's done. We got the checklist. And on the checklist is silence your cell phones, ladies and gentlemen, for the pleasure of all at cruising altitude. Silence your cell phones.
You know what? That is the mentality of someone who's nominated for the best sports talk show in the state of South Carolina. That's the mentality that is right there.
If you Lonzo and I have been nominated for Sports Talk Show in all of South Carolina. There's the proof in the pudding right there. There's a nomination right there, ladies and gentlemen. That's us. All right. Here's the other thing that happened. So, see, we like to recognize great shows here on the show. Clip number 8. This is my favorite part. I love Chuck getting busted for watching hockey highlights live on TV. As both an analyst and as a hockey fan, I love that Chuck is into the Stanley Cup with me, right? It was good enough for Chuck Barkley. If it's cool enough for the round mound, it's good enough for you. But then Shaq and Chuck got in it live on air, and it was incredible.
Let's be realistic. The Milwaukee Bucks got a better team. And they're going to win the series. They're going to win the series depending on how many games it goes. They got lucky and Milwaukee Bucks had the strategy
in civilization.
They still had the strategy game.
No, they didn't. They
He was
did
backing
not.
up.
They
He was
did not have
backing
the
up.
same strategy. You watched the game.
I watched the game.
He was not backing up.
He
They
was
were up
backing
on
up.
every pick and roll.
Okay.
No, they were up pick and roll.
Jeremy, you know what? At halftime, I want you to show me this guy backing up.
This guy was not backing up. They were pick and roll.
They just had 9 hours.
Well, that's because they
Nope.
cleaned out all these. He had no open lanes because they were
you don't
doubling him
see-
on the pick and roll. That's why he was turning the
see-
ball over and shot the ball bad.
It's not. He just had a bad game.
No, he had a bad game because of the defense change.
Stop it. First of all, you don't know nothing about no D. What the hell you talking
I can see. I mean, you were
I can see
awful
what?
defensive player on the pitch. They were
I
playing
don't-
defense like you did.
I don't
You
need to
can't
play
play
defense.
defense like that.
I don't need to play
No,
defense.
you can't play defense like that in a modern NBA.
I don't know why anybody would even listen to you about
No,
defense.
no, I'm just
ain't
telling you. I know. I
stopping-
wasn't a
ain't
great
stopping
defender, but
nobody.
I was a better defender than you.
No, you was.
Look, you're the worst
No, he wasn't.
big man
No, he
defender
wasn't.
in the history of other than Brooke Lopez in game one.
No, he was. I'm fifth, dog. You better Google me again.
I will say, go ahead. Go ahead.
All right.
Can I? I'll let it. I'll let it go.
What kind of flex is you get?
Yeah, but then he went on and he started Googling.
Oh yeah.
Which was very, very funny.
Shaq said, "You better Google me again." That's so good. These guys are idiots, and I love, like, in the best way. That's a compliment. I call myself an idiot all the time. It's a compliment. All right. These guys are idiots, and it is the most can't miss sport television, I think, on TV, Lonzo.
And see, the whole time this clip is playing, I'm making the mistake of getting in the ring with Shaq because we've seen him in the ring recently, and he's in much better shape than you think.
Oh,
and he's not.
Oh, God. He said you were the worst big man defender in the history of basketball, except Brooke Lopez in game one. Shaq said, "Oh, Google me." So good.
In Shaq's defense, he didn't really have to do a whole lot.
No.
I mean, the dude was
Just be close.
Yes.
Oh, so good. So good. Joe says Chuck was probably watching because he had money on the game. Yeah, so did I. That went well. My bank account is lighter, and evidently, based on the fact that I had to James Bond Dalloway to get to the bathroom without being spotted by Recon, aka anybody else who works in this building, and then seeing myself in a full-length mirror, my bank account is lighter, and I am clearly heavier. The COVID-19 is on full display today.
See, what you need to be glad is that I'm not that guy, because if I was that guy would have already sent out an email to everyone in the building to ask them to come and look at Rob, point and laugh. But I am not that guy, so I'm not doing that.
You ever seen a busted can of biscuits in roof? Texter says, ESPN Zoe, if you guys win, or excuse me, when you guys win, I think Rob should wear the Schmedium jersey to the awards ceremony. What say you? Now, I think this is like
it's a themed party, and we don't know what the theme is yet.
and
so.
I believe they expect some level of professionalism.
You saw what I wore last year.
Yeah,
No,
that's true.
It's not.
That's true.
And you're the only one who realized that I was going to Sting and somebody else. So.
All right, let's take a break. When we come back, just a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, we have had our first ejection due to sticky stuff investigation. All right. We got comments from the pitcher ejected, from his manager. And we got our first look at what the future of baseball is going to look like now. We'll bring back the Rob Brown Show. It's ESPN Upstate. I was going for the button.
Turn you on, Rob, but I will turn you off.
Not this. This jersey's enough to do that for anybody. I was gonna jokingly send a picture to the lady friend, but then I'm like, no, that may end all touchy feelies in this relationship.
Yeah, you shouldn't do that.
I took Spain plus 1.5. Finish them out, boys. The pale ale male of Yale. If you say that with an Anderson County accent, Stathagus, it would rhyme.
See, now you're just proving that you've been here a while. I like that.
You see something crazy? Look at this. This is from my hometown this past weekend. Is that weird? That's over the beach in Fort Walton, where I'm from, like my actual hometown. Watch this one thunderhead over here. Look at that. Isn't that wild?
Nope. That's time to go in.
So this is Fort Walton Beach, Florida. This is my hometown, Florida. And these clouds were over this weekend. That's at the boardwalk. Downtown Fort Walton Beach. And aren't those clouds wild? We wondered who the guy would be, and now we know. Hector Sergio. The first pitcher tossed for having sticky stuff on the glove, and it played out yesterday afternoon on the Diamonds.
He was coming off the mound here at Guaranteed Rate Field. The umpires have stopped him. Phil Cuzzy over at the edge of the field.
You know, there's a few things in the glove besides sticky stuff. Number one, you can take a look at the eyelets of the glove, and if they're raised, you're maybe scraping baseball. Or maybe there's something that can scrape the baseball and get extra movement. It would appear that something was untoward in the glove of Hector Santiago, who can't believe it.
We have our first culprit of the new system of checking pitchers. Hector Santiago has been thrown out of the ballgame. Scott Service doesn't like it at all, and with this, it's going to be a suspension, and you can't replace him on the roster.
You know, I'm wondering if, and you saw the umpire grabbing his wrist. Maybe there was something that he thought transferred from the wrist to the inside band of the glove, because that's what they were looking. They were looking over the inside band of the glove. The fans are booing Hector Santiago.
I know that I didn't use anything today. I just I didn't know that. They said, what he told me was you can't use rosin on the arm, your glove hand. So when I've used rosin, I dab on both sides, keep it dry. That way I'm not having any sweat coming down the hands. I didn't know that you couldn't, the umpire said you couldn't use it on your glove hand. So I don't know.
When Hector came off the mound, obviously you guys aren't here. It's about 85 to 90% humidity today with the guy sweating. He had rosin, all over himself. Phil said he thought he had some sticky stuff in his glove. When you put rosin on sweat, it gets sticky. That's why they have a rosin bag back there. So
I moved your camera when I hit the glass.
Take it from there. It goes. The glove gets sent off, and we'll see where it goes. But our guys are doing the right thing. They're following the rule. The umpires are trying to do the best they can in a tough situation. He thought he felt something sticky. Rosin does get sticky when you put it on sweat. So we'll wait and see what happens.
He was immediately ejected, but has the suspension been issued as far as?
No. The glove will be sent off. There's no determination on what's going to happen there. They can go ahead and look at it. There's no sticky stuff in the glove.
So, two things. Number one, I took Spain minus 1.5 goals, so I need them to win by 2. 85 minutes to play. Spain's up 2. During the break, Lonzo reaches over to tap the glass to tell me to look up to see that Croatia has scored and Spain now lead 3-2 with 4 minutes in regular time left to play. 3 minutes in regular time left to play, meaning that now I need a miraculous Spain goal somewhere in the last 3 minutes and 10 seconds plus stoppage time. Then, to get my attention, Zoe knocks on the penalty box glass between the twixt of us, knocks my webcam down, and where does it point, Lonzo? Where did my cam point?
To the goot.
Right at the gut. Right at the gut in the Schmedium jersey. Thanks, Zoe. Thanks so much for that. I needed more attention drawn to the fact that I'm way overweight and wearing a tiny football jersey. Thank you.
Sorry.
You could have done that if you planned it and you still pulled it off. Very impressive. Do not do it again. I see you.
Oh, no. I didn't realize that was so precarious in its position that a little nudge will cause it to do that. So
I don't care that it fell. I care where it fell. Unbelievable. So that was the first ejection of a pitcher, Hector Sergio Toss. The second verse you heard was Scott Service, who is the manager of the club. I don't know, man. So Hector Sergio says, I was not using anything. I had the rosin mixed with sweat because it was like 90% humidity.
Can I interrupt you for a second?
Yes,
he
please.
said, I didn't use anything today.
Well, yeah, these guys are all going to, now that they're going to all say, yeah, I used to use it, but now that it's against the rules.
I was just wondering if you noticed that part.
did.
He said today.
Yeah.
So in other words, I wasn't cheating today. I don't know why I got caught today. I wasn't cheating today.
So 90% humidity out there. He says the rosin got mixed up with the sweat. That's what made it sticky. The umpire says, nope, the sticky stuff was in the glove, inside the glove. Now you cannot, we all know the rosin bag, right? That's that white bag that's on the hill behind the pitcher. It's on the backside of the mound. That bag is filled with what is effectively chalk. All right, rosin, it's effectively chalk. It's designed to increase the friction in the hand. And if you mix it, according to Hector Sergio, you mix it with sweat, it gets sticky. He said that's all it was. And I'll even go as far as to say, I believe him at his word. I'll take him at his word. Sure. Take him at his word. But you can't take the sticky stuff and slather it on the inside of your glove. You can't do that. You can touch it with your hand. You can use it on your throwing hand, but you can't transfer it to the inside palm of the glove, which is what the umpires are saying that he did and created this.
So essentially, now all pitchers have to be worried about, whatever their routine is. If they stick their hand inside their glove, now they're going to be afraid to do that too.
I mean, again, all these things were things that were already against the rules. Now, here's a guy that I'm not a big fan of. Trevor Bauer. All right? Not a big Trevor Bauer guy. But TB gave some sound. I'm going to go to clip number 4. Zoe, if you don't mind. Trevor Bauer has spoken out about his concerns. And he said this before the Hector Sergio ejection and likely 10-day suspension that's coming up. Here's what Trevor Bauer had to say.
So I think that, one, it would have been done either before this year. Well, I mean, if I was in charge, it would have been done a long time ago, 2017 or 18 or whatever it was. It really started taking off. And I guess the history behind it is like we didn't really know how impactful spin rate was until we could measure it. And that came along with TrackMan and now Hawkeye. But it came along in the mid-2010s. So it's kind of a new phenomenon where players are using it for performance enhancement as opposed to just get a grip on the ball. And so I would have done something about it a long time ago. But I think where it stands right now, I'd like it, I would have liked it to be done in the off season. And then you need to have some sort of approved grip on the ball, whether you're going to say it's just rosin on the back of the mound or you're going to give pitchers an approved substance or whatever the case is. But you need to have some objectivity to it too, where an umpire isn't just, we saw earlier today, an umpire checks and thinks the glove is sticky, but we don't know what sticky is or isn't. No one's really defined that. Some guys sweat and use rosin and nothing happens. Some guys sweat and use rosin and it gets sticky. Like, everyone's so different. So you need to have some objectivity to it. And instead of the umpires checking, let's just handle it like TSA, where you walk in the dugout, there's a third party there, they swab your hand, they swab your glove, run it through a machine, and if you have over a certain amount of a certain substance on your hand or on your glove, it flags it, and then you can make the decision and the discipline around that. That way you're not doing it on the field, and whatever the case is. And that way there's some sort of objectivity to it. Because right now it's super subjective.
Why do I have to agree? Oh, my. Croatia has scored in the 92nd minute of play. We are now square at 3 apiece. You gotta be kidding me. Cool, I'm pulling for Luka Modric, 35 years old, out there gunning for his country. I'm pulling for
I could
for
not
Luka.
point it out to you, but it just happened right then. It was a header into the, not that I know what that is, but it was a header into
You
the.
don't know what a header is?
Well, you got to imagine.
You don't know what a
there's,
header
There's
is.
the play right here. And maybe
Set into the middle.
Maybe
Oh,
I said
yeah.
it wrong.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah. No, you're correct. That's a header. When a ball hits a head, Lonzo, it's a header. Don't be so anxious to prove how much you hate soccer that you pretend you don't know what a header is. Croatia with a gutted out goal to go all square against Spain. Still got 3 minutes and 20 seconds of stoppage time. So Spain needs a miracle now, but looks like we're heading to extra time. So he
has a great point. Trevor Bauer has a great point about doing it like TSA. I mean that, and if you do it that way, you stop all the stoppage from happening and everything like that. You can discipline beforehand. I mean, if guy's going to be suspended, he's going to be suspended before he ever goes out on the mound. But is this kind of like what was it, Minority Report or whatever? You're getting someone before they cheat, because have you cheated until you go out on the mound? You have the intent, possibly, but you still haven't yet. So he caught in the act in order to be suspended.
Say this. This is a weird situation because it got me and Trevor Bauer into the same party. It got me and Trevor Bauer to agree on something. I don't think that's ever happened. And Trevor's entire career, I've never agreed with him or supported him on everything. But he's got a good point. They decided to attack Hector Sergio, and it was on a subjective opinion, which was the problem we knew was going to happen from the beginning. Let's take a break. Come back, wrap up hour number 2. I'm Rob. He's Lonzo. It's ESPN Upstate. What a goal, too. What a goal.
He almost got one like 30 seconds earlier, and he missed the shot, and then they got it right back down the field, and then he got it. So pretty sure it's the same guy. That guy cracks me up because he looks like he's heading to the club or something. The way he's dressed,
rocking the very fashionable blue jeans out to 2020.
I mean, it's probably in style. I mean, I don't know.
Well, I'm the king of style.
Oh, I wouldn't say strong style, but
no, not at all.
Yeah.
Robinzo, did you hear Greeny's show? And if so, are you a TWT guy? I don't know what TWT. No, I didn't get a chance to listen to it today, Steven. I was
working.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm enjoying the chunk
Prepare
gifts.
Hey, you guys. I was preparing my brain mentally for the 3 hours of jokes that I was going to have to take on air. So I don't know what TWT is, unfortunately.
All right, he explains what it was, by the way. On the
Oh, gotcha. Oh, absolutely not. Why would I work a Monday and a Friday and take 3 days off in the middle? Give me Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or give me Monday, Tuesday.
Here's why you do that, because you have 2 days off, work one day, have I mean,
Yeah, but I can't go anywhere then. If you're not leaving town, then I could see that. But if I've got a 5-day weekend, I'm getting out of Greenville. I like going places.
well, I work 6 days. But it's not help me
True.
anyway, so
Do 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 do.
already trying to work out plans to make sure that August 14th or whatever it is when we go to Star Wars is covered. I don't know if I'm going to do a best of or just put together a show.
Dude, I'll record something with you for that.
It's kind of cool. Pretty much, there's only been, I think, one exception. The only time I ever missed a show is ago.
Yeah.
Won an award. Who knows? May not even be on the air by then. We'll see.
I suspect you will be, buddy.
Ooh, 1 minute.
So Monday would be like another. Yeah, I don't know. I'd rather have all my days in a row. Because if I have a 5-day weekend, I'm leaving town. I'm going to do something. I think I wouldn't handle it that way. Like I'm going down to Florida this weekend to play some gigs. I'm not taking an extra vacation day, though I usually would use one. But if I was taking a vacation day, I would take it Friday or 3 vacation days. I would Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, come back, work Monday, or work off on Monday. And
Yeah, but Monday is holiday, right? Is that this? Yeah. I got to work.
Yeah.
Because all the people that we brought in to cover for people are not available. So, although I could be mean, I could just tell Tim that he has to work the entire day. But I'm gonna stand in solidarity with him and come in and work 2 hours. You know, but still. I do feel bad, but you know, I can't. It's not my fault. Breaking news.
Say it like a soccer guy, though.
No, I wasn't going to do that.
Oh.
I was going to say breaking news. Rob is wearing a very small jersey, and you need to look at it on our stream right now.
I'm so ready to get this thing off.
Hey, you only got an hour to go, man. You've held up like a trooper. Good on you.
Tell you this, it's correcting my posture. You can't slouch in this.
Are you more concerned that you're going to tear it up since it means something to
Oh, I'm
Diesel?
horrified by the idea idea that I may take the deep the wrong way and ruin Diesel's jersey, and he will fist fight me in the parking lot after work. I am horrified by that idea. But it is what it is. I had to do it. We are in stoppage time. Croatia able to find not one but 2 goals deep in the regular 90. But now we head to stoppage, so we'll have 2 15-minute overtime periods. If we are still tied at the end of that, we will go to penalty kicks. The dumbest way to end a competition in all sports. I love soccer. But
I love penalty kicks.
Oh, no.
So how do you feel about it in hockey with the
Not a fan.
Okay.
Not a fan. Hockey, hockey did away with 5-on-5 in overtime. So now we do 3-on-3 hockey, right? Opens the floor up, but you still got to play hockey to win. They ought to do the same thing in football. Start playing extra 15-minute periods. Take 2 guys off the floor for each team. I don't care. Do something. All right. Here's your chance to win $1,000 in the $1,000 cash out on ESPN Upstate. Your keyword for the upcoming 2 o'clock hour is picture. 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 Look at this picture of Rob in the jersey. It will turn you to stone. Picture. Picture. You're going to text that word to 72881 72881. Text picture for your chance to win $1,000 in the $1,000 cash dash on ESPN Upstate. We'll look more at the baseball thing coming up in the next hour and a whole lot more on the Rob Brown Show on ESPN Upstate. Money.
I meant to bring that up, but I had a finger tick and it went a little too loud.
There's one person who can see me in this jersey and not judge. It's Twisted Todd, right?
Mean but true.
Correct. I've been thinking about this NC State no contest against Vanderbilt that got them eliminated from the College World Series. And I've come to the conclusion, Lonzo, that the only issue that I really have with it, aside from the being disappointed, NC State was a story, dude. If they would have gone on to win the baseball championship, they would have been a team we talked about for forever. They'd have been a team we talked about for years. 4 or 5 years down the road, we'd have been going, look, you have to watch the College World Series because you never know when you're going to get a story like NC State beating all the odds, being an underdog in every game they played in the postseason, knocking out the number one consensus team in the country in Arkansas, knocking Vandy down, knocking Stanford down, knocking Mississippi State down. They would have been the story of postseason sports since the pandemic started. Maybe in a while, they would have been the story. It would have been incredible. Absolutely incredible. But we got denied that. And it sucks. But they had 12 people available. Should the NCAA have let them play that game with 12 players available? Remember, they went with, 13 into the first game? They lost one out of that rotation. I don't know what position. If it was a pitcher, it was even more dangerous. But think about that. You had already lost one pitcher in the day before. So now you're down to 12. You were down to 12 already. Because that young man who gutted it out, that young man who went out, 123 pitches deep in that game against Vanderbilt on Friday, he can't go on Saturday. So now you're down to 12. You lost another one due to COVID test. You're down to 11. I think they had 11 guys available, which means you have effectively 2 pitchers. You can't do it. That's why the NCAA made the decision. I actually don't have an issue with the decision. It sucks. It hurts, but it is what it is. The only thing that I had to do, the only issue that I had with the decision was they announced it at 2:15 in the morning on Saturday. But here's the thing. I got to thinking about that, and I wasn't even all that mad about that now that I thought about it, and here's the reason why. You have to get Vanderbilt going, let them start prepping for the College World Series finals, right? I mean, I guess they could have announced it at 9 o'clock Saturday morning, but that game was due at 11. They were going out on the field at 11 o'clock Saturday morning to play the game. What do you do? Wait till 8 a.m. when the Vanderbilt guys are already up getting ready, pitchers are already stretching, guys are getting the stuff loaded up on the bus, the gear is getting packed to go back to the stadium, the dugouts are being clean. You wake NC State guys up, they get up, they're getting into game prep mode, they got the iPads out, studying the pitcher they're going up against on Saturday, and then you break. I just don't see how you handle it any different. You don't have to like it, but I don't see how you handle it any different if you're the NCAA, other than make the decision earlier in the day. But I think they wanted to get every bit of they could get to find out if it was viable or not.
Yeah, did it take them that long to deliberate? Because that's what it sounds like. You don't drop something like that in the night or early in the morning unless you've been working it for that long and just figured out what the decision was going to be and got it out there as fast as you can. I don't think someone said, I don't think it was like some dude was supposed to post it and he forgot. It's not that. They were working on that for all that time. So at least they were trying to find a way to let them play.
I suspect that's exactly what it was. I think the NCAA was likely working with the the NC State department, the Vanderbilt athletic department, trying to figure out, is there any way that we can play this game? But when they got to the point that NC State had effectively 11 guys available to play in a game that you must have 9 on the field, it just wasn't possible. And again, I've seen a lot of people, I was reading an article during the break where a guy was like, what a cow's way out from the NCAA. And you're mad. It's disappointing. I get that you're mad. But what would be the appropriate time to make that announcement? If you do it in the morning, right? If you announce it in the morning, you end up in a spot where, like I mentioned, the NC State crew, right? They got the game's at 11. They got it in the stadium at what? 9 a.m. conservatively? So at 7 a.m., 6 a.m., the state athletic department, as Spain has now scored, they are up 4-3, 99 and some change played to 15-minute period. So Croatia's not done, but they will need a hero ball now. Alvaro Morata with his second goal of this match. You had the NC State folks up, packing buses, getting gear ready, players rolling out of bed at 7 a.m., getting breakfast, mentality of a game day, right? When else would you have done it? I guess that's the question I'll ask. For those of you that are mad, how would you have handled this scenario? I am down, Zoe. I'm down to dump on the NCAA all the time. All right? I'm down for it. I don't like the way organizations run. I am down to take Mark Emmert to task every day. But what would you have done differently here? My suspicion, and this might be wrong, maybe the NCAA knew at 8:30 p.m., 9 o'clock, that they were going to contest the game. Maybe they did. Maybe they waited until 2:15 in the morning to avoid the cowardice. Maybe they did. But my suspicion is because they could remember they could have no contest Friday. When NC State had 13 guys, 4 pitchers available, actually 3 because one of them had to play first base. They could have no contested Friday and let it go, but they did everything they could to give NC State a chance to figure it out. And then that game, which ended what? Around 7 o'clock night that game ended?
Yeah.
7:30 that game ended? The NCAA and NC State and Vanderbilt all got their administration together on a Zoom call or whatever and said, how do we figure this out? How do we get it together? As somebody who has been in that before at a smaller level, but when I was down helping in PR at West Florida, down in Pensacola, game day does not just happen in a couple of hours. Based at little bitty University of West Florida, where I called play-by-play for a year, were a friggin' process, man. So my suspicion is NC State, Vanderbilt, and the NCAA had all their local staff working together as best they could to try to come up with a way to get Saturday's game to go, even with the depleted Wolfpack roster. And releasing that information that it was going to be no contest at 8 in the morning, 6 in the morning is a non-starter, unfortunately. There are too many moving parts that would have already been in action. You'd have had them get in the ballpark dressed up and ready to go. Hey, could you imagine, Lonzo, if you were an NC State fan that was staying an hour outside of Omaha, who was on his way to downtown to start the tailgate at 9 a.m., start the tailgate at 8 a.m.? I'm a tailgater. If it's an a.m. kick, I'm tailgating at 8 a.m. You don't get me out of bed for something at 8 a.m. often, but for a championship tailgate, I'll be there. Driving to Omaha to get there and then have it announced that the game was in no contest. They couldn't have done it.
Especially after the day before, when you know that you as a member of that fan base was a big help to the team to help them to get past the deficiencies that they had, because that crowd was nuts. And yeah, I think they did all they could, and it's not like when the government news happens. That happens a lot earlier. This is a thing that they had to deliberate that late in the morning, and they put it out as soon as they knew.
Yeah, I see a lot of people railing and hooting, hollering, and screaming, and I don't say this very often because it aggravates people, right? I hear a lot of people that say the phrase, "Don't complain if you don't have a solution." I disagree. My go-to example has always been, I like to cook, but I'm not a Michelin star cook. If I go to a steak place and I order a steak done a certain way, and they bring me out a well-done steak, aka a murdered steak, I don't need to know how to be an excellent steak chef to go, this is not right. There was a comedian once, Steve Hofstadter's his name. His thing, he's known for handling hecklers in the audience. And he made a joke about how most people's kids aren't special. Your kids aren't special, all right? Your kids aren't special. And a lady said, well, you've never been a parent. How do you know? And his answer was, I don't have to be a helicopter pilot. I don't have to know how to fly. If I see a helicopter stuck upside down at a tree, that the guy flying it screwed up. But this time I'll make an exception. If you believe the NCAA screwed the pooch, I'll read you the quote from the article that I was reading. If I didn't close it, let me see if I can find it. No, I guess I closed it. Anyway, I was reading an article earlier, and a guy said, here it is. This came over a group I really like, Barrett Sports Media. It's a radio broadcasting group that I follow. Quote, the NCAA chose to announce that it had decided NC State was eliminated from the College World Series at 2:10 a.m. on the East Coast when most of the team's fans and school administrators were asleep. It is the absolute peak of cowardice and ineptitude on the part of an organization largely built on those two pillars. And my question would be, how would you have done it differently? How would you have handled it differently? What else could have been done? I don't know what could have been done. They gave it as long as they could to see if they could come up with a way that would allow these two teams to play. They gave it every shot they could to see if NC State was going to pass enough players through testing to be good to go play. They did not. And had they waited until the next morning, so if they waited until the next morning, they would have had to have made the announcement by what, 6 a.m.?
Yeah.
If you wait to make the announcement, you're doing it the next morning when everybody's waking up ready for championship baseball. That's not an option either. I am down to clown the NCAA as often as you guys want. If you call in to complain about the NCAA, I'm going to give you the airtime, man. I'm down for it. I'm down for it. But this is just an unfortunate set of circumstances. If the game was Sunday instead of Saturday, then I suspect the NCAA would have come out with that decision at 8 p.m. Eastern time on Saturday. Hey, we tried. We tried to come up with a solution, and unfortunately, there's just not one. It is what it is. I don't know. I don't know how to handle it. I don't know what they could have done better. I'm down to kick the NCAA as often and as hard as I can, but I don't see. Zoe, am I missing something here? Do you see any way that the NCAA could have done better? Because I don't.
No, and it's one of those things where if you could confront or just discuss this with some of the people who have beef with it, ask them what they would have done. And I don't. Well, the obvious answer would be let them play. But if you're not going to let them play, you let everyone know when you find out, when you make that decision, no matter what time it is.
I agree. I think they gave it the best shot they could to let that series go, and it just didn't work out. It is what it is. By the way, Lonzo, I still might win this bet. Spain up now 2 goals going into the back half of extra time. Spain scored twice in OT, meaning that the 1.5-point cover is back in play for your boy. Overtime saved me, Lonzo. I'll be real with you. Friday night, bottom of the ninth, Vandy's up a deuce. I was praying that NC State would 2 in the ninth and go to extra innings so that Vandy could score 3 in extra innings. That was my only say. I'm like, come on, Wolfpack. I just need 2. So I don't have to wear this ridiculous ass jersey on the air on Monday, but here we are. 844-477-3776. Oh, Croatia just missed an open net goal by about 3 inches that would have blown the cover for me. Get it together, España!
Maybe you need to quit talking about it till the game is over.
No, I'm into it now. I'm into it. This is why, by the way, I bet $5 on this game. Like, I'm not riding a bank bet on this. I got $5 that Spain covers 2 goals and Croatia just missed blowing the cover by about 6 inches of space. This tournament has been incredible, y'all.
Don't you wish you would
incredible
only bet $5 on that Vandy NC State game?
Roger says they had 11 D1 players were pitchers in high school, so they had arms. As a former player, guys who threw were often harder to hit. You can't do it. Fine, Roger. Let's use that argument. Roger said that in the stream. By the way, join us on the Facebook stream at facebook.com/ESPN Upstate or twitter.com/ESPN Upstate. So they had 11. Once a pitcher leaves the game, he leaves the game. You had 2 pitchers.
But if you ask that 11 if they wanted to play, you know they're going to say they want to play.
Of course they did. But as with most sports, we don't let athletes do whatever they want because they have forget the COVID. You can't have, what are you going to do? You got to go to your third pitcher because the 2 guys in there and they're getting run ruled, or a pitcher hurts his elbow. So now you're going to play with 7 fielders. I mean, I would rather play with 7 fielders than not play. I get it. But you still got to have 9 in the batting lineup, guys. You still got to have 9 in the lineup. 11's not enough. They gave them 13. It's just not enough. All right, 5-3 España over Croatia. 107 played. We're getting to 120 before this one's over. Croatia's threatened a couple of times. Let's take a break. We'll come back here in just a minute. I got a handful of stories we have not gotten to. But Vegas is starting to drop money lines for likely bets on the college football season. And I picked out a couple of patterns we're going to take a look at. Coming up next on The Rob Brown Show, it's ESPN Upstate.
QC Kinetics.
That's right. Something. Our friends at QC Kinetics right here in the Upstate want you to get back to your day-to-day life. We've all got those aches and pains. Every one of us that ages, Father Time's undefeated, man, he might be in the best shape in your life, but at some point, the connective tissue in your joints, which you can't work out. You can't work it. You can't make it stronger. You get a finite amount of it, and it wears down over time. And once it does, your joints start to inflame, and it hurts. Trust me, I know. That's why we partnered up with QC Kinetics. Their non-surgical regenerative biotherapies help your body to do 2 things. Number 1, helps to restore that connective tissue so that inflammation stops, that burning stops. Number 2, it helps retrain your body on how to grow and maintain that connective tissue so you don't have to deal with it again. And it doesn't matter where you have the pain in your ankles, your knees, your hips, your lower back, your thighs, your shoulders, your wrists, your elbows. All of them are joints. All of them have connective tissue. All of it will wear down, and that pain will happen. And QC Kinetics can help you train it right now. Go to the website, QC Kinetics, QCKINETIX.com, or call them at 864-448-3772 and let QC Kinetics let you feel better, faster, healthier, naturally. Mention the Rob Brown Show. Get that first consultation for free. Learn about the science and get yourself going. Go to QCKinetics.com or call 864-448-3772. It's our friends at QC Kinetics right here in the Upstate.
Look at Twitter.
What?
Look at Twitter. You're just so wrong, Panda.
Shuffle.
Face. You're so wrong. You were so wrong. So you didn't notice the face running? That's what I noticed.
Panda.
Chung doesn't have facial hair.
Panda. You're an evil genius. You're an evil genius. There are Bond villains that don't have the level of evil that is in your heart.
I just think it's funny that you didn't notice right away.
I really did. Well, it didn't load on my phone, and then once it did, it was like buffering blurry.
Gotcha.
And then when it cleared up, oh, come on.
So when we accept the award for Better Show, that should be playing on the screen behind us. Oh, you should see what he did next.
The Otis?
Yeah.
He gave that one to me a while ago. It's kind of the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Oh. So bad. That almost made me ill. Not because of the voice, not because of, but the last week's experience. That's all. Especially Friday, which you got to live part of that.
Yeah.
So.
I don't like Angry Otis, by the way. I want my Otis back, or my I want my Otis back.
Yeah, I agree. I don't like it either. Patriotic country songs. Yeah.
Gotta clean up my Google store after work project. Yo, if we win the award, Joe, I'm playing the Otis tweet. Can we set up what goes on the background behind us when we go? Because if so, it's going to be the Otis.
No, we can't. Would you like to shake the mouse, or would you like me to? I mean, you only got 20-something seconds. I could run around there.
That's fine. I'm just cutting the camera before I get
They need to fix that spot.
All right, got about 5 minutes till Rob wins or loses bet number 4 in a row. One of which resulted in me wearing a child football jersey on air today. The Rob Brown Show back on your radio. It's ESPN Upstate. Rob on you 844-GSP, ESPN 844-477-3776. Text us at 71307 on the Ingalls Market text line, 71307. Vegas is starting to roll out some betting lines for the college football season upcoming, and there's a few that I am interested in. I'm taking on some win. We gave you some of when they shock you if you didn't hear the segment last week. Sure you're sitting down. But Lonzo and I need you to prepare for this. According to your win-loss totals, Clemson and Alabama are expected to have a season in college football.
Come on now, that's ridiculous.
I know. That's what I said. I was like, man, I don't know what to tell you. Alabama has picked up steam amongst the betting. The opening line for Alabama in their season opener against Miami was minus 13.5, right? So they came into it as listed as a 13.5 point. That minus 17.5, and it is growing. Some sports books now have it at minus 18.5, meaning that even as 17-point favorites, the betting public still takes Alabama to cover that line. Auburn opened up its line as 4-point home underdogs to Georgia. That line is now minus 15.5 for the Auburn Tigers. I'll tell you this. I was thinking about this when I opened it up, right? There is so much more confidence in Shane Beamer than there is with the Auburn Tigers right now. So much more. You have got to, if you're a South Carolina fan, looking at Auburn, who made I'll tell you this, as much as I had question marks about Shane Beamer, and I did, I'll be honest. Question mark in memory was the hiring of Brian Harsin at Auburn. I still don't get it. Hired back in December of last year. I don't understand the hire. I didn't get it at the time. I don't get it now. If you're a South Carolina fan, at least you have some optimism about Shane Beamer being a dude who's been in the program and knows the program. I still don't get the Harsin hire. And look at for Auburn. Opened as a 5-point dog to Georgia. They have grown that line to 12.5. Opened as a 12-point underdog to Alabama. They are now at plus 15, and I don't think that's enough. I don't think it's enough. Maybe worse than that. Betting bullets right now. Heisman Trophy favorite, according to the betting public. So they've got Spencer Rattler at Oklahoma at plus 550. Your second highest betted on Heisman finalist is C.J. Stroud, the Ohio State quarterback, plus 3,500 on the Heisman line right now. That's not bad value.
How many games has he started?
Not enough. But here's the thing. Plus 3,500 means you bet 100 on him preseason. If it hits, you're getting $3,500 back for it. That's not bad money. It's not bad money. They're confident in the kid. There's no question he's the guy.
I think the more confidence should be in Oklahoma getting another Heisman.
I concur. That's why in Spencer Rattler's plus 550, which is a much better. I mean, it's a more realistic line. It's not as much of a value. CJ Stroud at plus 3,500 is a good value pick. Plus 550 for Spencer Rattler. Texas running back Bijan Robinson is plus 2,500. Georgia quarterback JT Daniels is plus 1,200. And how about UNC Sam Howell getting some love at plus 1,500? He is he's got better odds than everybody on the list except Spencer Rattler and JT Daniels. That's not a bad line. Not a bad line at all. Right now, it's plus 100 on Kentucky so far. Kentucky's plus 6,000 to win the SEC, and there are people betting on that. Can I just save you all some time? If you want to bet on Kentucky to win the Southeastern Conference this year, just donate to the Robin Lonzo or Hungry Fund. You can just drop a crisp $100 bill right here at the station, and I promise you, Lonzo and I will put it to good use in the community.
We will eat well, or community. Yeah, that's what you said. Community.
Yeah, that's what I said. Put it back into the community.
Okay.
Absolutely. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm looking right now. I think the Spencer Rattler at plus 550, I think is my bet. I hate to say it. I hate to go with the common trend here, Zoe, but it's common for a reason. Spencer Rattler plus 550 is guy. If you had to pick one today, that's the guy you're going with, right?
So how much money do you have to bet to win money on that?
If you bet $100 on Spencer Rattler and he wins, you're getting $550 back.
Okay, I just want to make sure I understand because I'm still not,
I'll get you there. You may never use it, but you'll at least understand it.
I don't know if I really want to have that kind of understanding, because then I may be tempted to do something with it.
Take the P1 Keegan approach, which is whatever Rob says to bet on the air.
Do the opposite.
Correct.
Which last weekend probably would have been a good move.
Step 1, listen to Rob Brown. Step 2, bet the opposite. Step 3, profit. Although, I got 8 seconds. 8 seconds unless Croatia scores here, and they just dribbled out of bounds, so they will not. That should be the ball game. Spain up 5-3. I took Spain minus 1.5, so I need them to win by 2. They gave up 2 goals in the last 6 minutes. And there it is. Rob Brown's won something. Back on the W train, baby.
Good for you.
Let's go. Rob Brown's back in business, boys. Back in business. 844-477-3776. 844-GSP. ESP out of the ones I just listed you. Text it into 71307 on the Ingles Market text line. Let's take a break. When we come back, one more story I got to talk about. The French, what's the bicycle race? The French Open? Nope, that's tennis.
Tour de France?
That's the one. You can tell how much bicycle racing I get in my life. The Tour de France was, let's just say coverage got wrecked over the weekend. And all signs are pointing to us talking about it. Back after this on ESPN Upstate. I'm not proud of myself either. What it's worth.
So Panda did another one for you.
Oh, God. It is uncanny how spot on these things are, though, right?
Oh, no, I agree.
Like that's uncanny.
He's done a ton for me before, and they all look really good. So.
The Otis one's killing me. Killing me. Enjoy the sounds of summer. Hello, darkness, my old friend.
You might not want to try to hit some of those notes. It could end badly.
No.
Interior and exterior paint, stains, and coatings via Lowe's gift card rebate. And with everyday appliance savings, save up to $750 now. Select major appliances. Lowe's. Home to any budget. Home to any possibility. Actual size 110 to 644 ounces.
I hate when people don't proofread. Comic book resources. Marvel Cinematic Universe star Scarlett Johansson explains how leaving the character. All right. Does she tell or does she explain? I mean, get rid of one of them.
Bria's fashion boutique is the worst. First they asked me if I needed help finding anything. Just
1 minute.
And they told me they're having a sale. Oh, so you're assuming a tour. Cool. Also, they tried to give me the friends and family discount. They're your friends.
Yes, in case you were wondering, we're both on our phone, but we're both working.
True story.
$20 minutes, man, and you could take it off.
Dude. The first hour, I'm like, it's not that big a deal. And the longer it goes, I'm like, I physically feel like I feel awful for women who in history who have like had to wear corsets and whatnot, because I am dying now.
Are you holding things as tight as you can?
I
Is that what
have
it
been
is?
sucked in for 2 hours and 40 minutes. I walked into the bathroom to go to the bathroom a minute ago, and it's the first time I saw it in a mirror. And like even sucked in, I'm like, I have to go to the gym today. The Rob Brown Show rolls on. It's ESPN Upstate. You are 19 minutes away from getting for your chance to win a grand in the $1,000 cash dash on. Can I just say, I need you to know, Rob Brown is what many people would call, some angrily, who I don't care, a feminist. I have your back. I have your back. I have always worked, whenever reached out to, with young women who are trying to break into sports broadcasting. I have always supported women within this industry. I got your back. But I have a new level of respect for those of you that have to or feel the need to incorporate like Spanx and corsets into your wardrobe. Because I have been staring at the clock for 2 hours and 41 minutes thinking I cannot wait to get this freaking jersey off. Everything that is me, my thoughts, dreams, hopes, and memories, Lonzo, are being squeezed out of me minute by minute.
It's crunch time now, yo. Y'all,
literally,
you're near the end of this.
It's like, I'm just looking at the clock. Like, okay, 42, 18 minutes, 18 minutes.
But the sad part is, I don't think a lesson has been learned.
Yo, it's going to be it's going to have to be a lock of the century of the millennium if we make the wear the jersey bet again.
You mean like half a team being sent home?
Yeah, not enough. Not enough. The New Orleans Saints will be played by the Tulane college football team this weekend against the Kansas City Chiefs, and Lonzo's going to give me 35 points, and it still might not be enough to get me to put this jersey back on. Are you kidding me? Rob, be careful about picking on the Tour de France around here. There is a big biking community, and there are some locals that were good cyclists at the higher levels. However, they were cheaters and doped like bleep. The local biking community hates for you to call them cheaters. Dude, I don't think there is a sport that has been more widespread as far as people getting cheating, more people getting caught cheating than biking. All right? I don't care. And I say this respectfully. Biking, I've told you guys many times, I don't think there's a sport out there that I don't like. Even when Lance Armstrong was at his top, bike racing doesn't do it for me. I respect it. I bike. I actually have a bike. I got a really nice Trek mountain bike. That's actually a hybrid bike at the house that I used to ride all the time. I respect it. It's hard. It sucks. It's tough. But bike
should have
racing
rocked the
doesn't do it for me.
spandex today with the jersey then.
I got to tell you, though, I almost went with the joggers to just go with a full millennial look. Not a great idea.
Instead, you went with coach's look.
Yes. Injury on the sideline look is what I'm. All right. But I will tell you this. If I'm going to wear this in public, I look damn good. I am matched. Look, I got the shoes, match the shorts, match the hat. I got the Ray-Bans in the office. I look good. Except for everything. Other than that, killing the look. Killing the fit.
You gotta in the texters. You gotta be careful with the spandex community around
Correct.
there. They're dead angry.
I've seen what Panda can do pictures of me on the internet. Go to my man Panda's.
He's got 15 minutes. You gave him way too much time.
Yeah. So anyway, stage 1 of the Tour de France. They're running from a French place to another French place. Stage 1.
You do understand that they're going up the Alps, man. It cannot be easy.
Oh no! Again,
Even with enhancement, still can't be.
I backed the hell out of it. Ago, I broke out the bike for the first time, Zoe, and I did I think I did 14 miles on the Swamp Rabbit Trail, 7 out, 7 back. 14 miles in, I was ready. Didn't think I was gonna die. I was ready to. Just strike me down. I'm done. These dudes are running, 2,200 kilometers during the course of this race. Many of them up hills, not hills, mountains.
I just ride my mailbox and back, and that would work for me.
I think I made it up, I don't know, 1,300 yards of Paris Mountains, and then I was like, nope. These dudes are going up the freaking French Alps. I respect it. Then, young girl on the side of the road holding up a sign that says, hello, Grandma and Grandpa, decides to stand out in front of the riders so she and her sign could get on TV, hashtag influencer. And what does she do, Lonzo? What does she do? She takes out 200 Tour de France riders. One guy hits the sign and her extended arm holding it. He goes down like a sack of potatoes. And because they're in peloton, le peloton, I believe is how you say it in French. Le peloton. He goes down. And much like a pyramid scheme, he takes down 2 riders, and each of them takes down 2 riders, and each takes down 2 riders. And the next thing you know, it is a mass of humanity with scraped legs and bruised ribs all through. Here's the best part. The Tour de France says we are going to sue her for ruining stage 1. And guess what? All of a sudden, Miss Put Me on TV is on the lam. They can't find this girl. She's from. Nobody can track her down. She has gone full blacklist on us, has disappeared, is going all Splinter Cell undercover. I love this. I love this story.
Do they not have video?
Have you? Please.
I saw the headline, but again, it's like. Pretty good though. You guys, the stragglers in the back, not part of the peloton, who sees all this and just drives away. They're in first place, or did they call the race?
No, I mean, so there were 13 riders ahead of the accident that got out scot-free. But this has happened. If there's a crash, they don't, because it wasn't the only crash either. There was another one where one of the actual guys on the bike tried to change lanes. He went down. He took out a couple hundred people.
Yeah, crashes happen all the time.
But this one was not caused by a bike racer bike racing. This was by some young chick who was like, I want to get on TV. Hashtag influencer. Threw herself in front of. dude.
Sure, it wasn't like Johnny Knoxville in a wig or something.
No, it was.
Okay.
It was very clearly a young lady. I'm gonna see if I can find. In fact, I may have to come over there and
I can look for it.
yeah, you may have to pull up the video because this computer is. Ugh. Anyway, ridiculous. Absolutely hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. ESPN. I say this respectfully means straight up disrespect. No, look. I never got into the Tour de France. I respect the hell out of bike riders. I've tried it. It's not for me. I just can't do it. It is freaking difficult.
I had to watch it for French class. We got extra credit for watching it.
Nice. In French?
I don't believe I viewed it in French, but you know.
I look, I get it. I get it. It's tough, man. I've tried. I own a bike. It's tough. I can't do it. However, something being difficult does not make it compelling television. All right. The most exciting two things to happen in the Tour de France in years have been what? Lance getting busted doping and Sign Girl taking out 250 bike riders with a car. That's it. That's not disrespect. I'm just telling you what makes compelling TV.
That's a female. I could be a dude. She's got short hair. I'm just watching. I mean, it's not that hair means anything, but the video catches it so quick. And I'm watching an aerial view right now. Excited for that. Oh, there we go. More. There goes a couple more. It's like NASCAR. It's awesome.
It's worse than NASCAR in the best possible
Look at
way.
that pile of humanity.
Right? And it doesn't stop for a good 10, 15 seconds. Dudes are going 20, 21, 22 kilos per hour.
Yeah, whatever that is.
Freedom units. 22 freedom units per hour. Let's take a break. Twitter trending topic wrap on the Rob Brown Show. ESPN Upstate.
Wow, they show the front of the race and it doesn't look like it's going to be that bad. Then they show the no.
It's massive.
Like I get your feet are strapped in, but
Yeah.
probably hard to go around with when they're all grouped together.
Meteorologist Jennifer Kuczynski on ESPN Upstate. Currently, it's 91.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is write along. You should try Zip for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter can candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right.
I had to stand up to breathe. Sorry to kill the stream. I had to stand up to breathe.
No, when I had to watch the Tour de France for French class, there was also a song called Tour de France.
Song?
Yes.
I don't think I've heard it.
Well, it was probably back in 1985. So it's a good reason why you may not have heard it. But even though you are into the classic stuff, I wouldn't consider this song a classic. I recall it wasn't bad either, but it was a long time ago.
This commercial. Watch this guy. They're like, just stand up, old guy. What do you just stand up?
That's mean even for you. I'm glad that wasn't on the stream.
Did you see that picture?
Yeah, I did.
The guy. And then you're telling me.
Well, as soon as they took the picture, he's right back in lean over position.
You're telling me that by moving my hand from here to here, suddenly I've got the best posture. Like, come on. You're being ridiculous, commercial. I'm not judging the dude. I'm judging the commercial.
I wonder how much you got paid for that picture. All right, you're not slouching enough. Bend over just a little bit more. You're not giving the full effect. We're going back thing, or we're not going back on the thing?
Oh.
Just because, you know, we got about a minute.
I thought I killed it off.
T-minus 5 or 6 minutes or so and counting till Rob gets to remove the jersey.
Oh, my Hawaiian shirt's right there, and it's so loose and form-flowing and comfortable. I brought that because I knew when I took this off, I was going to, like, just let me put on a plastic trash bag to be comfortable. So I brought the loosest Hawaiian shirt I own.
I thought that shirt was rather festive. So now we know why it had purpose. All right, it's time for Twitter Trending Topics, where I tell Rob what is trending on the internet, and he tells everybody what he knows about it. Try not to go too, serious on these things, but this first one cannot be ignored. It is Phil Jackson.
I actually have no idea why Phil Jackson is trending today.
Phil Jackson is trending because Scottie Pippen was on the Dan Patrick Show today, and he said, and I'm paraphrasing because I don't have it in front of me, when Tony Kukoc, when the play was drawn up for Tony Kukoc to take the last shot in the playoff game where Pippen didn't come out.
Wait, well, let me guess. Because he wanted a white guy to shoot the ball.
Yep. He called him a racist, and Dan Patrick asked him to clarify, and yes. So Pippen is trending right now, as well as Phil Jackson.
So a couple of things. I heard Mark on Offsides a few days ago talking about, who was it? Jalen Rose, I think, who sat. Kevin Love was only included on the Olympic team
because they wanted a white guy on the team.
They wanted a token white guy. They didn't want to send an all-black team. He said, have the courage to send an all-black team to represent the United States. I got a lot of arguments about why Kevin Love should not be on that team. There's other players that wanted to go that would have been better. DeAndre Ayton would have been one of them. Mark said, well, you can't send two guys from the Sun. Sure you can. We've sent two guys from NBA teams on every Olympics roster. It's not a big deal. I don't have an issue with what Jalen said. I don't know if I agree with him, but it doesn't bug me. Like, it doesn't aggravate me. It doesn't anger me. I love Scottie. I really do. Scottie was one of my, even as a kid, I got a Jordan jersey still hanging in my closet, but I love Scottie.
I
never got
never
the credit he deserved.
I never have liked Scottie Pippen, but it's just because I don't think he was as good as he was made out to be. I think Jordan made him better, but Jordan made everybody better.
I think Pippen was better. And I think if Jordan's not on that team's still really good. But I love Scotty. Scotty's trying to sell right now. He's trying to sell a book and he's trying to sell a bourbon. All right. I have literally not heard a single person talk about Phil Jackson being a racist ever. Not in his entire career. He has had incredibly close relationships with Kobe, with Shaq, with Jordan, with Bulls team. I literally never heard that before. Scotty, I love you, dog, but lay down on this one.
All right, let's end on a better note. Anna Jay is trending.
Yeah, her and Jungle Boy are apparently a thing.
Have you seen the picture?
I have not.
Yeah, you should see the picture.
Take a look after. I love Jungle Boy.
There's some grabbing going on.
Hey.
Backside grabbing.
Hey.
Wasn't aware they were an item. And you know what? I forgot who his dad was.
Matthew Perry.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's Matthew Perry Jr. How about that? All right, that's going to do it for us. Lonzo and I are out. But before we get there, let's try to win you a gram. What do you say? Your 3 o'clock keyword is face, F-A-C, in your face. F-A-C-E. Text that to 72881, 72881 for your chance to win a grand in the $1,000 cash dash on ESPN Upstate. Mark Ryan and Diesel are up next to bring you up till 7 o'clock. Thanks for hanging out. Those of you on the stream, I apologize. I'll be wearing something normal tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out. My name's Rob Brown. He's Zoe. The Rob Brown Show's on ESPN Upstate. Later.